morning and welcome to Beyond the Contracts podcast. I'm your host, Maresa Morrow, along with
Jennifer Hart of Churchill Morgan.
And I am with Onward Real Estate. And we are super excited this morning. We have a return guest, and I think it says a lot about our podcast that we're getting return guests, and this one is super special. There's so many things to say about her. I'll start with Rotary president. She is a diplomat with the Rutherford County Chamber of Commerce. She is our vice president with our Believers in Business networking group. I truly, truly love this woman, the fabulous Judy King. Welcome back. Welcome back. And Judy is going to talk to us today about the Wings of Freedom fish fry. We brought you this last year, and I think it also says a lot about our podcast because now we're in the toddler stage. We're not in the baby infant stage anymore. So second season, we're ready to go. Judy, give us a little bit of history on the Wings of Freedom fish fry and how that started and what it's about.
So this is the 22nd year. Wow. The inception of it was honestly back in the days of the air show in Smyrna. And then we had 9/11 happen. And they decided at that time to just start just the fish fry and move it away from the air show. And so, year after year, we honor veterans, first responders. We've honored Gold Star families. This year, we are honoring canine officers, the human canine officer. That has been such a trick to make sure that the explanation is correct on that. But no, and we want to bring light to the actual canine, the actual dog as well. But that's just something we've not done in the past. And I thought, what a great way to celebrate my presidency and do the canine officers and kind of do something a little different.
Absolutely. So when you say the canine officers, is that in first responders or veterans?
So honestly, it could be either. Okay. I'm just asking if they're in Rutherford County. We do try to keep it Smyrna and Rutherford County centric. And then they can be current or they can be retired canine officers. So super easy way to get an entry into the fish fry, the greatest event in Smyrna, or one of them, I'll just say that. And then if they're not able to attend, that's okay. Mm-hmm. They can still register to be an honoree. We can still provide, spotlight during the program and the presentation. And then if they are able to attend this year, we've got some special surprises in store for them.
Oh, I'm looking forward to that because if you've not been to the fish fry, it's not just a fish fry. It is a huge community event. They have entertainment. Mm-hmm. They have a car show. There's awesome food. Mm-hmm. I mean, how many people normally?
Oh gosh, last year we were somewhere in the 22 to 2,300. Weather is a huge play in the attendance, and especially with the cars. Right. The cruise in. And so last year we had record number of cars. We had record attendance, and it was just beautiful weather.
It was incredible. Mm-hmm. I think it was a little windy, but it didn't matter because it was like the weather we're kind of having now, low humidity levels, and the temperatures were a little bit cooler. It was ideal.
Yeah.
And I know you had a hefty goal last year.
Yeah, we did, and we obtained that. We got to 225,000, and we gave back. I believe it was over 100 back over to nonprofits through the grant program that we have in place. And that's the thing, we've given to date $2.2 million back into the community through this fish fry. And we've also along with that provided help in getting the Captain Coos Memorial We have the Rotary Soccer Park there on Mayfield, and this year that's going to be the project, is to enhance that area and partner with the town of Smyrna to do that. We also, a couple of years ago, finished Boys and Girls Club in Smyrna, helped with that. We also helped with the all-inclusive playground there off of Lee Victory.
Yeah.
So, when you look around Smyrna, it's really hard not to see the impact that the Smyrna Rotary Club has made just in the town of Smyrna. But then you start looking outward from Smyrna, and you also see the impact that we're making with our community agencies that, help throughout the county. So it's a big event. It's a big undertaking, but it's got such a great reward.
Yeah.
So.
And I want to make sure that you heard that. We're talking over 6 figures that goes right back into our community just from our Rotary Club. Yeah. And Smyrna is not the biggest city in Rutherford County. So it speaks volumes for its members and for the members that are part of that community and want to give back. I mean, that's what Rotary is all about to begin with. But to know that they're so dedicated that they are willing to put this huge event on, that's a big, if anybody's even done a small event, they know that is there's so many moving parts. But that is huge, over $2 million.
Yeah, back 22 years ago, I think they were happy that it raised $10,000. That's a lot. 22 years ago, that was a lot. I remember 22 years ago. It's been a long time, but I remember that time frame. And when you look at just the undertaking, the expenses, we have a budget each year, and we try our hardest to come way under that budget. We also take those funds and we kind of, I would say, tithe. We take a 10% of that and put it in an account that we utilize and draw funds from to fund our Interactors college scholarship program. So there are so many things that Smyrna Rotary does that people may not even know about. I don't think the majority of people even know about the fish fry, because I always say if you come once and see what it actually is, you can't even comprehend it if you've not attended.
There was a gentleman that we were diplomats with, and he went last year for the first time. And I remember his comment to me was, I had no idea. This is so much more than what I ever expected. And I said, you almost can't explain it. You have to experience it, is the best way I know how to put it. But he was already saying, I'm coming back next year. And that's what I see is anybody that comes loves it. The food is phenomenal. The fellowship, the community coming together. It's just, it's an impressive event for sure.
And it's a good spot too.
Yeah, it really is. It's the perfect area right there in the hangar. What is the goal for this year?
I set a very lofty goal.
Yes.
I set it at $300,000, and I purposefully did that. And it was because we have the project, but also I know that we have grants that we get the applications. We've already closed the application process. We've had, I believe, 24 applications this year, and I wanted to be sure that we had funds available for that as well. So we may or may not get there, and either way, it's honestly it's still going to be a great event, and we're still going to give back to the community. And at the end of the day, that's the major part is to give back.
And knowing that you're giving back, I know so many of the things that you do give back to are generally directed for children. And we have such a growth in Rutherford County. We're still number 11 or 12 in the country for growth. And to know that with that growth comes families and children, and it's a need that, some principals can't keep up with. And so I love that. So what specifically are you doing at the park?
So at our Rotary Park, it it is home of the North Rutherford Soccer Club. It is used from TSSAA competitions, area competitions. It is used a lot. So we're going to enhance that with a trophy presentation area that I'm really excited about. It's going to be a great addition. And then there's already some of the buildings, like the concession stand and all. We're just going to help with building some shelter, like a breezeway between, and some shelter, just, one, to get out of the weather, the sun, or if it rains, to be able to have a place to go up under. So, the town is working to get renderings and to finalize that, so that we can get that into place. And, I'm really excited about that. I'm not a soccer player, obviously. I mean, but 30 years ago, we were gifted with that land, and it's over 30 acres. Wow. And so it is called the Smyrna Rotary Soccer Park. And what better, 30 years, it's time to do some enhancements. Obviously, some of the, the buildings and all are not 30 because it took some time. But, to be able to go in there and enhance something that's already a part of us and part of our club is I love that that's going to be a little fingerprint of mine on the town.
Absolutely. I remember that it was just land, and there a coach would come out there and put a net up, and that was the soccer field. But it sounds like it's going to rival the baseball fields over at Lee Victory Park, or get super close to it, or work towards that, because that's a great facility. And especially, you mentioned the TSSAA. Rutherford County hosts that tournament, and it is huge. Baseball, soccer, everything you can imagine. And so to have a place that you're proud of when they come, I think that's absolutely fantastic. That's fantastic. So
well, thank you. We're really excited and very thankful that we can partner with the town of Smyrna. There's many clubs that don't have that ability and don't have that partnership with their local municipalities, and so to be able to do that is truly a blessing, because on our own, it's like you and I, the three of us, like, we can do so much, but if we all three, partner together, there's so much more we can do. And so, being able to realize that and having, club members that appreciate and value that is truly, truly a blessing as well. And, we've got over 100 members in our club.
That's fantastic.
And so it takes everybody.
Yes,
it takes
really
everybody. And so we have some of those that, may be retired, and you may only see them once or twice a year, but they're going to come out and help with the fish fry. And so, like I said, it takes everybody.
That's fantastic. I remember when I was a Rotary member several years ago, and members would travel and pop in at different clubs, and they weren't doing anything that Smyrna was, and we were smaller towns, and so it speaks volumes for the club. But as the president, to be able to put your mark on that and leave that, I think it's fantastic. I'm super proud of you.
Thank you.
What weekend? Give us the details about the weekend. How about tickets?
Okay, so we actually had to change the date. It has historically been the second Saturday of September. There's a big race going on at the Nashville Speedway, lots of planes coming in and out, so we bumped it to the 21st, which is the third Saturday. The 21st, the gates open at 5, and you can get tickets, purchase tickets at WWF, that's a lot. So it's WOFSmyrna.com. And you can also register if we still have sponsorships available. We have our Fisherman's Club full, which is a major, huge deal.
Yeah.
But all of those sponsorship levels have sold out. But there are still the other levels, and you can purchase tickets, and you can also register to be an honoree if there are some canine officers out there kind of on the fence, or maybe somebody knows a canine officer and they can, get the word out.
So how many people do you have already that you're going to honor so far?
So far, there have been close to 10 that have registered, and that is thanks to Officer Don Godby with the Smyrna PD, who we're honoring as our Grand Marshal.
Oh, nice.
He and his canine Rinska, and I'm sure I'm butchering that, but
names.
yeah, it's his first female canine and his third canine. His previous one, he had we were talking about that last week. He had worked with him, and his name was Rocker. He had worked with him most of his life, and I think he was about 9.5 when he died. Mm-hmm. He got cancer and had to be put down. But that pulled at me, and I thought, what better way? Yeah. And especially in the town of Smyrna, to have a canine that had worked over 7 years and retired due to health, and what better way to bring some honor and also just attention to what these guys and gals do, because it's sometimes it's more than a human can do, and they call in those special noses that go out search and rescue. They go out and provide assistance with any type of drug because they can smell it and we can't.
Right.
So
absolutely very interesting.
Will there be some canines there?
So Officer Dawn and I are still talking through that. We know that there won't be but his, if at all. And it's just, for the safety, and also just the mental health of the dog as well, not to be overstimulated or overexcited or, anything like that. And Rinska is, she is a German Shepherd and Belgian Malinois, ever how you say that? So, and she is a lively little booger. Really? Yes, she's about 2.5 maybe, and full of life and full of energy, and I cannot see her sitting still for that length of time. So we've bounced some ideas back and forth, but probably for all parties, it probably will only be her, or she may not even make a debut.
Well, I think so. Tell me, do you have other entertainment lined up for that night?
We do.
Is that a surprise, or can you share?
So we do. I'm really excited that we are having Laurel Taylor. She is an artist that has been on American Idol. She's a singer, songwriter, producer. Wow. She's actually from my home state of Alabama. Oh, wow. And we got connected, and she just has a great heart, and she has a servant's heart. And so we've got some pretty neat things in store that she's going to help us with in the Fisherman's Club. And this year, you're going to see a lot of changes. The layout in the hangar is completely going to be different. The Fisherman's Club is going to be located completely different. Our honorees are going to be in the Fisherman's Club. So there are so many things that I am stoked about. And thankful that, as president, you kind of get some leadway and some freedom to kind of plan this big event, and put your little, yes.
That's fantastic.
So excited about that.
Super excited.
So September 21st.
September 21st.
5 o'clock. Tickets are still available. Anything else you can think of that we haven't mentioned?
Where can people buy tickets?
They can purchase them online, and they can even and they can even purchase them the day of the event
Okay,
at the entrance. So they will enter through the Smyrna Airport Authority building, and they can purchase those there. Once they get in, everything is included. So if they're 21 and above and want to partake in alcohol, that is served, and they just stop by and show ID and get a bracelet, and they're free to go. So lots of good food, lots of great vendors. We have the bait shack. And so when they come in, and
I didn't realize you all had vendors.
So we've got lots of partners in the bait shack that come in and provide appetizers, little samples, and so each year, when I say this thing evolves, each year it is a constant evolution of this event. And so, we want to enhance every year and do a little something different. And this year, I think we're doing a lot different.
Nice.
So I'm excited.
Yeah.
Well, we are super proud of you, and we know it's going to be an absolute fantastic event. Come and get your tickets. You can buy them at the door. You can get them online, and have a good time and support a great cause.
Yes.
And what better cause than the city of Smyrna, really?
Yes.
So much fun.
Yeah, we appreciate you being here. Thank you so much, Judy.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.